Welcome back to Squawk Box Live from Washington, D.C. We're in the Rayburn Room, beautiful room, counting down to President Biden's State of the Union address tonight. Right now, we're joined by the new chairman of the Financial Services Committee, Congressman Patrick McHenry. It's good to have you on. It was just a little over a month that you were scrambling with now Speaker Kevin McCarthy to wrangle those cats into electing him Speaker. Where are we now in terms of we've got some pressing issues? How's that going to play out?
Well, I think it's playing out that Kevin McCarthy is the right person to lead the House Republicans and to be Speaker of the House, and I'm proud to have supported him then. Usually that happens in private, not so much in public, but we did it in public over a week. But now that that's settled, we've pivoted into the major discussions on the fiscal house, on the massive increase in spending from pre-COVID levels, the fact that revenue is dramatically up, but we have record deficits. And so we pivoted into this conversation the American people care about, the state of the economy, which I know we're going to hear something different tonight than I think.
Facts.
Well, it's a very different reality than what my constituents are living. And I think we're trying to speak, Republicans are trying to speak to their pocketbook, and Biden's trying to speak to how much money he's shoveled out the door over the last 2 years. They're very different measurements.
I guess what I was getting at was we do have a looming debt ceiling that we need to raise, and both sides seem to be a little bit dug in, although the Speaker said there was some progress made with President Biden. But as far as Republicans go, you got, there's 20 guys, far right, then you got the center, then you've got maybe some of the problem solvers, and that's before you even get to the other side of the aisle, where, you're for the Senate, it's going to be very difficult to accomplish anything. So it just, to the American people, it just seems like there's going to be a lot of talk about what we would do if we could, but we can't.
Well, look, the president started by saying, I will not negotiate on raising the debt ceiling, which is a position no president has taken. Trump didn't take that position. Obama sent Vice President Biden to go negotiate the deal on his behalf. This has been part of the modern structure of Washington
Patrick,
to get fiscal restraint.
Speaker McCarthy, to get the speakership, had to agree to balance the budget within 10 years. So, but without touching Medicare or Social Security is now the vow. No tax increases. So how is he possibly going to propose a way to do that? You'd have to cut 85% of the discretionary spending to be able to do that.
These are two separate issues.
But it's not going to happen. So how do we get to the other side of the debt ceiling without throwing us into default?
Well, these are two separate issues. And as I said in December, I think we should have these debates separately. That's my position. That's not the position of the Speaker or the House Republican Conference at writ large. But the debt ceiling increase, no one's talking about a default. No one's saying that we're not going to raise the debt ceiling. What we're saying is we want to have a debate around the fiscal house in connection with that. A 2-year spending agreement so we can keep government open and deal with our national security issues. And at the same time, have a bigger discussion about our high and structural deficits for the coming decades. Right. We have Medicare and Social Security that have structural problems in a very short time frame. In the next 10 years, they start going into deficit, and it becomes very difficult to make payouts to beneficiaries. We don't want that. So we want to raise this issue. We want to make sure the American people understand the consequences of this high spending. And we have a president who's going to come to Congress tonight and brag about the fact that he's increased federal spending by $3.6 trillion.